I want to thank you for having me on the show. I didn't thank you for that. Thanks for sticking it with me all this time. And I'm really stoked to be part of this thing. And thank you for just doing this and carrying this message and being this, a worker, carrying the message, bro. Appreciate you.
Oh, likewise.
Uh,
Thank you. That means more than you know.
oh, awesome, bro. How awesome.
More than you
We're,
know.
we're, we're in it. We're in it together, baby. So yeah, I'm a single mom
Mm,
and, my father was a kind of troubled kid, in and out of juvenile hall, in and out of jail, drug addict. My mom was kind of a very sheltered. Um, she had very, very strict parents. She wasn't real familiar with the world at large and things like drugs and crime. She wasn't allowed to watch movies or TV shows and all that kind of stuff. So, she got in with the bad boy who seemed exciting and fun but in high school. But anyway, here I am, and she's got to raise me on her own. And so it was meager beginnings with, on food stamps and housing and social workers coming to make sure that we were still poor and going to, pretty grimy elementary schools and stuff and getting in a lot of trouble. Had a lot of learning disabilities and attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, and getting in a lot of trouble, man. I didn't go to any recesses. I was in and out of the principal's office more than anybody in the history of my school. Sometimes the principal would just drop me off at my mom's house because she wouldn't answer the phone because I was always having to call and talk about getting in trouble. So I didn't really fit in there and I wasn't having a good time. But I was always singing and dancing and that was my passion, was
mm,
creating music and movement and comedy skits and playing dress up. I really liked that fantasy world and I really liked the energy that I created by people watching me and doing a good job. So I always say that, approval was really my drug of choice, my first
mm,
drug. I got high off being celebrated, I guess you
mm.
could say. And that passion is what helped me land all the commercials and stuff when I was 6 years old, started acting and I had already been rehearsing for years. I was already
Right?
a professional, man, self-taught and all that stuff. So, my dad didn't even know who I was. My mom kind of kidnapped me in a sense and hid me from him. She wanted to save me from the pain of having a drug addict criminal father, but he ended up dying of a drug overdose, heroin overdose when I was 26. I never knew him. I found out way later in life. And, me and my mom had a pretty amazing life together and we did some incredible things and traveled all over the world. And I recorded 2 albums and had a couple top 10 hits and, was on the #1 TV show in the world. And we made millions of dollars and we lived in beautiful places on the beach. And, it was very interesting way to grow up. I was really fantasizing about being famous from a little kid and having this power and having this success. And it was like I created it or I had some vision of what I was called to do and I achieved it. It was really pretty cool. But when it all comes, like that, you think it's going to keep coming and
Yeah.
like we do, I got prideful and I mean, I was a kid, man. I didn't pride and ego and insecurity and, you know,
Yeah.
egomaniac with an insecurity complex, inferiority complex. Um, so that all melted down as I became a teenager and started doing what teenagers really do and smoke weed and go to kegers and skate and
Yeah.
snowboard and surf. And um, I wanted to break. Honestly, if I think back about it, I worked from 10 years old till 16. By the time I hit 16, I wanted to break. I wanted
Yeah.
to take a vacation. And my version of a vacation was partying, going out and getting girls and drinking and dancing and going to nightclubs.
This is the Knocking Doors Down podcast, featuring celebrities, experts, and everyday people who have overcome adversities, including addiction, mental health, and trauma, to live purposeful lives. And that's what Knocking Doors Down is all about.